Race nigh, touchdown. The linebacker picked it up. That was not a forward pass. First down and 10, football at the 41. Potts cutting to the outside. Grayson Potts bounces out 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. Potts, end zone, touchdown. Back to pass. Magnano steps up again to the outside Simmons. Look what he does after the catch. Down that sideline, dances. He's gone. Marcus Simmons, touchdown, Millionaires.
Play action by Watkins, rolling to his right, throws wide open, touchdown! From the gun, drops back to pass, looks, throws over the middle in the end zone, circus catch in the end zone for a touchdown!
First quarter, on their third play from scrimmage, quarterback Brent Burley's pass gets picked off by Logan Ott and returned for a touchdown to put the Warriors up 7-0. Dylan Mall goes off left tackle, finds a seam, and takes it to the house, putting the Warriors up 14-0.
Indians going on 4th and 5 in the 10. Throw into the end zone. Wilt, touchdown Muncy. The Indians drive 62 yards. Action. Golden good. Back to pass. Got a man there going up. What a catch! 25, 20, 15, 10. Touchdown. 67 yards.
Throw and possibly a completion.
Here comes South on 4th down. Flick. Throw to the end zone. That ball is caught. Cole Lentz, touchdown. It's down here to the right. They come Altner, winner. Big hole in the middle. The fullback running inside the 5. Touchdown. Mounties.
Welcome to Touchdowns and Tailgates, powered by the Fairfield Auto Group. We have a beautiful sun-drenched day here, and I'm in Montgomery, Pennsylvania with Coach Paul Basello. Hey, Coach, how are we doing today?
Doing great.
Good to see you as always.
Yeah,
Love coming down here.
Love having you.
Grass, like natural grass, you know that. The field looks great. Let's get right to it. Got off to a little slow start. You got the ship back sailing straight. Give me a little recap of what's happened so far.
Well, we had a lot of high expectations for this season, and losing our backup quarterback Thursday night before the home opener, and then our quarterback the night of the home opener didn't help things.
Braden Strauss.
Braden
was your starter. You went down.
Braden he's a 4-year starter, but he was an emotional leader. He was a physical leader on the field. He means a lot to our team, and you can see with we're winning 7-0 against South with 6 minutes to go, and they dropped 25 points on us. Our team kind of imploded. But after that, we were trying some kids out of quarterback, and we ended up moving into somewhat of a wildcat formation, snapping it directly to Hunter Budman. And we did pretty well against Wellsboro, our third game, and they're a good quality team. They dropped 50 on us the last 2 years in a row, but at halftime we were tied. So we were excited. I mean, the momentum this team is generating is awesome. But we couldn't find a way to finish the game. It had a lot to do with us trying to find who we were offensively, and our defense was out there way too long. So
right, and you have a stellar defense also, but they're just on the field too long. Well, you got straightened out the last couple of weeks and got it rolling the right way. You have Nativity this week. Mm-hmm. Hopefully win 3 in a row, right?
Sure. I mean, the last 2 weeks against Sayre and CMVT, our line, it starts right there. They dominated both games up front. Which helped us develop these 2 new offenses. And we put over 500 yards against Sayre and almost 400 against CMVT with our starters. And I can't say enough about the line. And both sides of the ball, they dominated.
And like we talked about last year, I love small school football, and you're the smallest school in the district, I believe. You were maybe Sayre.
I'll take that honor.
I think you deserve it, what you've accomplished down here. I always like talking to you. How many kids you have out this year?
We have 41 this year.
Fantastic, and that's great for a program. How about junior high?
Junior high, they have in the 30s.
Excellent, yeah. And that's a tribute to the program you're building down here, getting the young folks out. Let's talk about the injury bug. It's not just here. I've never seen so many early season injuries. Trayson Potts missed a week, and that didn't go well. Connor Watkins, he broke a collarbone. Loyalsock didn't do well. I mean, it just seemed you're starting quarterback. I mean, it was going well against South until he went down. What do you think about the injuries? Is it just a fluke thing this year, or bigger, stronger, faster high school kids?
We talked about it all the time, and you throw Phil Davis from Milton in on this too. He had an AC problem, just same as our quarterback. You know, Connor Watkins with the collarbone. That was our second string quarterback out of collarbone.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know.
I don't know either.
If you can figure that one out, let me know.
The only good thing is that it happened to you beginning of the year, and you got time to work it out. I think it's a wide open A race in our district. Quality football, small school football. How do you foresee the year playing out with the teams in the A division?
I do agree that it's a tight race right now. Muncy has a strong stranglehold on that first spot, and they earned every bit of that.
Your rival Muncy Indians.
Yes. No, but you know, Sean does a great job with that team.
Yes, he does.
And I just think, you know, all the adversity that we faced in the beginning of the year is going to make us a lot stronger team. And I think if we start to peak at the right time, and I think if we get our key players back at the right time, we could be right. Those high expectations we had in the beginning of the season could be right back where we started, because you get in the playoffs, it's a 0-0 record. So
I agree with you 100%, and I know how you coach the kids up. And I saw it happen last year. Loyal Sox started out real slow, and by the end of the year, they were playing their best football. A lot of times, it's how you're playing at the end of the year. And I shouldn't say a lot of times, all the time. It's about how you're playing at the end of the year. Anybody you want to give a shout out to, assistant coaches? Anybody that's helped get the offense going back the right way?
Coach Ty Drick, you know, he's our offense coordinator. He has a lot of innovative schemes for a base offense. We have a new guy named Corey Bishop from the Midwest. He ended up coming on as volunteer, and he's the one that suggested the Wildcat.
Nice.
And Coach Nate Hakes, and he does a lot with the offensive line on both Wildcat and our base offenses. But
excellent. Well, let's get some senior Red Raiders in here. We'll talk a little bit of football with them, and great talking to you.
Thanks, you too, Jim. Appreciate it.
Take a commercial break. We'll be right back.
Over the years, this area has seen its share of ups and downs. And for the past 30 years, our employees have been dedicated to making sure your investment in your vehicle goes a long way, from sales to service. And we promise that same level of commitment for the next 30 years. It's your time, Central Pennsylvania. You deserve a fair deal. Fairfield. You're gonna love us.
And I'm back at the beautiful grass field of Montgomery with some Red Raiders. You guys got it going the right way now. A couple wins in a row. Yeah. Key and Peel style. I'm going to let you introduce yourself.
I'm Chris McClintock. I'm a senior. I play wide receiver and cornerback.
Gay John. I'm a senior. I'm a running back and linebacker.
Jacob Gerhardt. I'm a senior, left tackle and nose guard.
Hunter Budman. I'm a running back and safety.
Brennan Bailey. I'm a starting tackle and guard.
We'll start with Brennan down there. Hang on to the mic, Brennan. Big fella. I understand you like to dominate both sides of the ball.
I try to. With our game plans and different formations we run on defense to try to stop the offense from doing what they want to do and doing different formations on offense.
Tell me about your line coach and how you like playing for him down here.
I love playing for Coach Hakes. He always pushes us on little things to make us play to our best ability, and sometimes you're like, but I mean, so you got to do it, and it makes us a lot better than we were when we started. And usually the line coach is the toughest coach in the staff. Is that true at Montgomery? You could say that. Could sort of say that. Pass it on down here to Hunter. Almost 500 yards the last 2 weeks, putting up some big numbers. Things are rolling the right way. Nativity this week, then a big rivalry game. Tell me about getting the season turned around and how Coach Basella has helped in the process and getting things rolling.
Week 1 and week 2 kind of screwed us up, and we had Wellsboro week 3, and then so we had to try something new and get rolling. And week 4 and week 5 came. We got wins in week 4 and week 5. So over the past 5 weeks, we've been trying to work harder and harder every week to fix what we've been making mistakes on, and that's how I guess we're here. So. And you guys are all seniors. Tell me about your career here and how you've seen the football program turn around. Well, our freshman year, we didn't have Coach Basella here. We had our old staff. So our sophomore year was our first year with them, and freshman year we went 0-10. Sophomore year we went 1-9, and then 1-9. Yeah, 2-8. And junior year was 6-6, and then now we're here. So it's a good turnaround, isn't it? And a lot of excitement here, and things got off to a slow start, but I've seen it happen before. I think you guys are heading the right way. Half a season left and then playoffs. So pass it on down here. What's your favorite part of playing for Coach Basella?
I absolutely just love how, we're all just a family and everything. Coach Bozzella, he's a great coach. He means a lot to all of us.
Well, that's good. What's your favorite part of playing football?
I like hitting people.
You like hitting people. And your positions again?
I am nose tackle and left tackle.
So you line up at nose tackle, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the first thing you're thinking? We won't tip anybody off. Go ahead.
I just want to blow this guy back into the quarterback.
And that's the best approach for the nose tackle, right? Blow things up, create chaos.
Absolutely.
So, all right, pass it on here. You've gotten to play quite a few different positions, right?
Yeah.
What's your favorite position?
I think linebacker. I mean, I just love defense in general, and I think it's a lot more exciting than offense itself because you get to pursue people and hit them as hard as you can instead of people trying to come at you.
And I know your answer to this, but I asked every linebacker every week, what's your favorite part of football?
Just getting them open field, not open field, just big hits on people.
Hitting people, right?
Yeah, coming downhill as hard as you can.
Playing downhill. Any monster mashes this year yet?
I mean, there's been a couple. I was out week 3 and 4 with a hamstring injury, but I just came back last week, and that was offense only. So.
All right. Well, I'm sure they'll be coming, right?
They will be.
Pass it on down here. So tell me about Coach Bozzella and what your favorite thing about him and the program is.
I would just say the whole coaching staff as a whole. I mean, they're all fun to play for, and it's all a big happy family, and we just have a lot of fun.
And I know I know you like to joke around. And is he keep the locker room light? This guy here, or any stories we should ask?
No, nothing like that.
What happens in the locker room stays in the locker room, right? Your senior year. Tell me about your senior year and what you'd like to accomplish here before the end of the year.
Oh well, I mean, last year as a team, we made a big stride, and I didn't play freshman or sophomore year. I came on the team as last year, and I saw what the program turned into and being a part of it and what it was all about and seeing the whole town, the whole community come together. And I just want to see that happen again and just keep the ball rolling. Excellent.
And it was pretty exciting last year. You finished up in the district championship game and a great year. And guys, I tell you what, you have a crack this year. There's no doubt in my mind. So let's go back around. Give a shout out to somebody, whoever you want.
I'd like to give a shout out to Coach Buck. I mean, he's helped me a lot, really took me under his wing, and he showed me a lot of ins and outs of the game, so I'd like to give him a shout out. Excellent.
And as a senior, there's no need to lobby for playing time, so we know you're not kissing butt there. So
yeah.
Good job. Pass it on here. Shout out.
I think just the entire coaching staff in general. They all push you to do the best you can and to the best of your ability. None of them quit on anybody on this field. They're all here for all of us.
And great points. And I love when I come down here and talk to you guys, how you guys are a true family. And it's small school football. You guys don't have it. There's not a lot of guys that come out, and you guys come out, and it's just like you brothers. So it's a great thing. Pass it on. Shout out to whoever you want.
Coach Schaefer and Coach Hakes. Those guys have been pushing me a lot ever since 9th grade year. It's mean a lot. Those guys put me through a lot, and it's made me better every single day.
Excellent. So. Pass it on down.
I'd probably have to say Coach Schaefer and Coach Tydrick for helping all the running backs out as a whole, like making us better every day, just working together, I guess.
And you're a pretty hard-nosed kid, aren't you?
Yeah, I guess you got to be.
Do you like getting hit or hitting?
Well, I'd probably have to say hitting, but as an offensive guy.
But as an offensive guy, and I watched you last year and a little bit of highlights this year, you seem to like to inflict punishment as you're getting hit. Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah. Well, I guess, I'm not scared to take a hit, so.
All right. Pass it on down there. Anybody you want, shout out.
I'd like to give a shout out to Coach Solomon for pushing us every single day.
Fantastic. Everybody's nodding.
We will win the fourth quarter, gentlemen.
I was gonna say, I bet you he's the conditioning coach.
Yeah. So the first couple of weeks were a little rough, but now we're getting back on track and we are playing a full game of football.
Well, great job, boys, and we'll move right along here. But thanks for having us down here today. Good luck this week. We'll follow you the rest of the season. Take a little commercial break, and we'll be right back.
I play softball, Fast Maz.
We play soccer, Fast Maz.
I swim and play track, Fast Maz.
We play hockey, Fast Maz.
And I'm back with Doc Massey. Hey, Doc, how you doing this week?
I'm good.
How nice is it to be out in the sunshine?
It's nice and rare.
You didn't do that rain dance to go to Ichiban, huh?
No, there's always next week.
Always next week. Well, I hope the rain holds off.
Me too.
Let's get right at it. Was talking to Coach Basella about injuries this year and the factor they've been playing. What'd you see this past week?
I think fortunately, from what I remember, we didn't have any real costly injuries this week, so that's a blessing because it's been brutal that way. But I think Montgomery starting to come on strong. I think they're going to be a factor in this Class A race.
Week 1 lost their quarterback.
Yeah,
took them a couple weeks to get their feet on the ground. Now they're coming the right way. It's going to be a great single A run for the district title.
Yeah, I mean, if they get in, I think they're as dangerous as anybody. I think they've already shown they can compete with South. They play Muncy in 2 weeks. Canton they were tied with at halftime. So I think a full-strength Montgomery team will be a handful for anybody that plays them.
I think they will too. And the one thing in the A level this year, the tackling is outstanding. It doesn't matter if it's Muncy, Montgomery, South, all the teams tackle well.
Yeah.
And it's sort of a lost art anymore.
It is in this day and age, and in the NFL, you're not allowed to do it anymore. But in high school, you are.
Yeah, Clay Matthews, he's still figuring out how to sack the quarterback. Does he lose 3 sacks on those 3 penalties? Do they cost him a sack?
Yeah, he doesn't get them.
Wow.
Frustrating.
Well, we better move right along. Doc Massey's top 5.
Now we'll start with Muncy again. The first time in 4 weeks we've had the number 1 team survived.
Number 1, Muncy Indians, tough battle coming up. They're on the road up to Canton. Canton sort of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's going to be a battle. Both of them 5-0, and I looked at the records. It's 1999 was the last time we had 2 area 5-0 teams square off against each other, and that was South Williamsport and Muncy. So it's rare, and there's going to be a lot of hard hitting going on in this one.
I was just going to say, and Canton's another team that likes to lay the wood.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's something to this, but I noticed at the A level, instead of playing basketball, a lot of the players wrestle.
Yeah.
And that might right to the tackle.
It does, yeah. I think obviously if you're wrestling, you're tough. You got to be tough to be a wrestler.
Sure.
And yeah, I mean, I think wrestling, a lot of it is with the hips and trying to pick people up near the hip area, and that's what tackling is. And Muncy was brilliant with it the other week against South. Montgomery has been tackling well. Canton brings the heat. Yeah, there's a lot of fundamentally sound guys, and wrestling and football, I think, go hand in hand.
Number 2 team.
Number 2 is Montoursville.
The Montoursville Warriors played a solid game against Loyalsock. Loyalsock sort of where Montgomery was a few weeks ago, trying to figure it out, trying to get an offense around the quarterback. What would you see there at that ball game?
I think Sock hung tough with them. The defense, I think, did all it could to keep them in the game. Obviously it's a different team without Connor Watkins, and that's not a slight on Chase Cavanaugh. He's doing the best he can, but you talk about a tough situation. You step in and you're trying to replace a Division I quarterback, and Loyalsock has to change things on the fly, and
that's
it's just a tough situation. But I think they're doing the best they can, and if he makes progress each week, we saw Gerald Ross had a good game for Loyalsock. They got playmakers, so I think they could be all right. But
Coach J.C. Kiefer and Montoursville Warriors, I call him the big fundamental, because his teams at Montoursville. Now what I see this year is the skilled folks at Montoursville are really coming on.
That's what makes them so strong, is you can't key on 1 or 2 or even 3 guys. With them, they have about 8 different weapons, whether in the backfield or at receiver. And Logan Ott and Dylan Mull, they use in various ways in the backfield and putting them out in the slot or as a receiver. So
and how about
got a lot of different ways to beat you. Hunter Shearer's playing great.
Lights out.
Yeah, I'm writing about him in my column this week, and he's a different quarterback this year than we saw last year. And again, he got thrown into the fire last year. Young team, tough schedule, but you could see that's benefited him now because he's learned from it. He's become really good.
And the Delana boy's coming on, and he's going to push to be an all-state receiver, whether it's this year. He's becoming outstanding too in his own right.
Yeah, he's a great athlete. Had a huge game against Jersey Shore, and I think teams are paying more attention to him, and that's creating opportunities for other players. Dylan Mull had a big game against Loyalsock, and
Dylan Mull's got some speed.
He does.
Did you know he had that kind of speed?
I saw him in baseball, and he was fast, but he was banged up most of the year, so I don't think he got a chance to show it off in baseball. But he showed it off.
He's
on
got
Friday.
some giddy up. He does.
Yeah, once he was in the open field, he was gone.
Number 3.
Number 3, the Williamsport Millionaires.
Williamsport Millionaires won a couple in a row.
Yep.
Got it going the right way. Another team, early season injury, had a tough game at Altoona. Now they're getting it back on track.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess the most encouraging aspect was, even though they gave up a lot of points and a lot of yards against Crestwood, there was some defensive improvement in the second half, and their offense right now is in video game mode where they're scoring at will. So if that defense can just allow somewhere between 20 and 30 points a game, if Williamsport's healthy, they've got a chance to be in every game because that offense is so dynamic.
And back to video game mode, Trayson Potts. I mean, the way he can bounce side to side, turn on the jets, the way he can go. I mean, he's an amazing player, and
he is. And
I just wish him good health. And
absolutely,
he is so fun to watch.
He is, and he's got 67 career touchdowns. He's closing in on the school record. Gary Brown had 74. Darrell Blackman had 67.
Pretty good company, huh?
That's pretty awesome company. And he missed a year with the injury, so that says a lot about how good Trayson Potts is.
I guess I forget about that now, because other than his little side, step with the shoulder, it's like he never missed. It's like he went from his sophomore year to now, and I mean, he looks great. Yep. Number 4.
Number 4 is Canton, a new team in there. They've been kind of around 6 or 7, but the way they destroyed Athens on Friday, winning 34-0, I had to move them in there. They're just playing great on both sides of the ball.
Athens, and I know the Northern Tier pretty well. My experience with them, they're always talented at skilled positions, but sometimes they lack the guys up front.
Yeah.
And I think Canton was a bad matchup. However, that sort of puts Canton in the same mode as Southside. And Muncy and all these other teams. So there's going to be some snot knocking going on there.
There is.
When Canton and Muncy play.
And that was a question mark for Canton for me coming into the years. They have some real good skill kids, but they don't have any senior offensive linemen. But that line's really come on, and they're knocking some people over. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Last but not least, number 5.
I put South Williamsport back in this week. A really impressive 32-7 win over Bloom. I thought that was a nice statement.
I thought it was too. And Chris Eisworth, we could call him the big fundamental too.
Yeah.
I mean, he got those guys. In Bloomsburg, I didn't know what to expect. After the Loyalsock game, I thought that could be a little bit of a trap game for Southside. Did you think the same thing?
Yeah, and especially, they've got Southern, Central Columbia, and Mount Carmel coming up. So I think there was a little bit of pressure on South to try to get this one, and Bloom had allowed 15 points in 3 straight wins. So for South to not just win but dominate them the way they did, I think shows you how dangerous South can be.
Anybody we shout out for at South this week? Anybody step up in that game?
I think it was a real team effort. I think their offensive line was great. Their defense played a fantastic game, but it all starts up front with those guys. And Gannon Goriski and Luke Winter get their yards, and they're great running backs. But they got a lot of horses in front of them leading the way.
They sure do. And back to South, single A team. I don't know if anybody that's single A should be playing that murderer's row they got coming, but that's another story for another day. Yeah. That gets us to the player of the week. Sun Gazette, Doc Massey, player of the week.
I'll go with 2 of them. You talked to one of them here earlier, Brennan Bailey from Montgomery.
Brennan Bailey, going to give a shout out to one of the big fellas up front.
Yeah, you got to try to.
All right, I like it.
I like to try to not just focus on the skill kids. And
you do a good job of that. Tell me about Mr. Bailey a little bit.
He was dominant against CMVT. He was blowing people off the ball on the offensive line. The starting offense scored on every possession. They had 364 yards on 16 plays, and he was pancaking some people. And then defensively, he owned the line of scrimmage. He was blowing up plays in the backfield. He had about 4 tackles for loss. So those linemen kind of fly under the radar, but he stood out on Saturday.
Well, that's fantastic, and I love to see the Hogs up front as the Redskins made popular get some glory too, because they sure don't get enough.
No.
Who else did you have?
I'll give it to Austin Nash from South Williamsport too, with 3 interceptions against a good quarterback and a good offense over at Bloomsburg.
He had the hat trick, huh?
He did, and it's hard. I mean, it's not easy to get 1 interception, let alone 3 of them. So he put on a show, and he's he's a good weapon for them. He's a good receiver and really part of a secondary that I think has 12 interceptions now.
And flying under the radar, I think he's a player that sort of gets hidden there at Southside, but he can step up and bite you. So
yeah, he certainly did. He did it repeatedly against Bloom.
Excellent. Any parting shots you got?
I'm just, I can't wait for Muncy Canton. I think this is going to be a hard-hitting, physical game. Some good genes in there. We got Coleman good for Muncy and Christian good for Muncy. They're cousins with Timmy Ward, the all-state wide receiver for Canton. So got
fantastic.
Got some good bloodlines and a great rivalry game.
I always love those family matchups. You know that. All right,
and they're all wrestlers, so.
There's something to that theme there. I mean, I'm telling you, this year, defensive football this year seems to be about wrestling. And I've seen, is it me or has the tackling been at a lot higher level all around this year?
From what I've seen lately, it's been really good. It has been better.
All right, we're going to wrap it up here, and we're going to move down to Gary Chrisman. He's down at Muncy, and I'm going to form tackle Chris Massey here as we go. So,
over the years, this area has seen its share of ups and downs. And for the past 30 years, our employees have been dedicated to making sure your investment in your vehicle goes a long way, from sales to service. And we promise that same level of commitment for the next 30 years. It's your time, Central Pennsylvania. You deserve a fair deal. Fairfield. You're gonna love us.
Hey, we're here in Muncy, touchdowns and tailgates. Gary Chrisman with Indian head coach Sean Tatro. Sean, congratulations, 5-0. What a great start. Impressive 2 weeks ago beating South in our cable sports game of the week, and now Canton 5-0 coming in. You play them on the road. Big game this week.
Yeah, it's one of those things we saw the schedule beginning of the year. We knew starting with Towanda, South, and Canton and Montgomery, it's going to be a big stretch of our schedule, and our kids are playing well, and we're excited.
Are you right now, most pleased? What are you most pleased with in this team's performance?
I mean, our sure tackling and our physicality. I think we're someone that has some of the most physical kids around. And you see Mike Custombutter out there being as physical as he is in our O-line. The way they played against South Williamsport was great to watch.
Well, I know Babe Mayer, who's been around coaching for a lot of years. Babe said best tackling he's seen out of the Muncy Indians. Then you see how the wrestlers wrap a guy up and take him to the ground. Custombutter was a great move in the second half. He's going to grind it out. You move it into tailback. That turned the game around.
Yeah, I mean, Mike's one of those kids. We know when we put him back there, he's going to get the ball. He's going to run downhill. And we knew we were saving him for the second half. We're like, you put him back there. I think he's going to wear him down a little bit. He ran hard. He ran physical, and it showed. And we can't ask more out of him.
You've got a great leader in Coleman Good. Let's talk about how good Coleman Good is on both sides of the ball. I
mean, you can't say enough about Coleman. He's our leader. He's been playing safety for 3 years, been playing quarterback now for 4 years. He runs our offense, and he runs the show on defense. That kid put so much hard work in over the years. It's great to see everything coming together for him.
Are these guys ahead of where you thought they would be?
Oh, a little bit, man. When we started the year, we knew we wanted to slow play them. We didn't want to peak too early, and these kids just keep responding. Week after week, they keep getting better and better, and they're exceeding all of our expectations, and we can't wait to see what they have on Friday.
It should be fun. Canton coming in 5-0. Let's talk about Canton. What do the Indians have to do to win?
I mean, it's one of those things. We got to limit the big plays. No plays over 15 yards. We got to make them pound it out. We got to make them drive the field on us, and I think we'll be okay. Offensively, we got to stick to what we do. We got to pound that rock. We got to do our play action, and we got to be physical and take control of that clock.
And that's exactly what you said you had to do against South Williamsport. Everybody, the South fans thought South will do what they do in the second half of the game. It never happened. You limited the big plays, and that's why you guys are 5-0.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things we started all year with our defense. No big plays. No big plays. Can't give up big plays. I mean, plays will happen. We got to be ready for the next one, and we got to make a team drive the field on us. We're pretty confident our defense will make a stop.
Hey, Sean, I've got a feeling we're going to see you later in the season. Congratulations on the great start. Get one more this coming Friday night at Canton.
Thank you very much for coming. We appreciate
it. All right,
it.
Sean Tatro here in Muncy. We'll have more touchdowns and tailgates with some Indian players when we come right back.
Over the years, this area has seen its share of ups and downs. And for the past 30 years, our employees have been dedicated to making sure your investment in your vehicle goes a long way, from sales to service. And we promise that same level of commitment for the next 30 years. It's your time, Central Pennsylvania. You deserve a fair deal. Fairfield. You're gonna love us.
Hey, we're back here at Muncy. Dylan Wilt, Colby Moyer. Guys, congratulations, 5-0 start. It doesn't get any easier. You've got a big game on the road this week with Kent.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we've been first day of practice. We've been focused so far. Last week we weren't focused that much, but hopefully this week we can stay pretty focused.
Colby, do you have an idea that you guys would be in this position 5-0 coming into week 6?
We're definitely talented enough. We've all worked very hard and picked up 2 big wins back-to-back in Tawana and South, ones that we really had to grind out. Bucktail, we started off slow, but we picked it up. Us senior leaders, me, Dylan, Mike, and Coleman, we've really been preaching to stay focused because this is going to be a big week. Ken, I think, called in the paper the game of our lives. We're going to be treating it that way too.
Well, it should be fun. And of course, Southside game, the game that we did. How big was that? Both of you guys caught touchdown passes in the game. Coleman, good running the show. What's going through your mind early in that game when South, they come in, everybody thought they were favored, but you had them at home. You guys made the plays.
Well, we knew we had them right off the bat. We started coming after, or Coleman started throwing after me, and then once they started locking me up, we came after Colby. He just made a lot of big plays. Mike, always a tough runner, tough kid, both sides of the ball. Coleman, great quarterback, 4-year starter. We just came to that game focused, and we knew we were going to beat them.
Colby, what's going through your mind? You're coming down this way. You're coming toward this end zone right here, 67 yards. You go up and get it, and you take it home. That was the big play of the game.
Yeah, honestly, it was just a great play call by the coach. That was a play we'd recently put in, and I knew if I can get myself in a situation, I like my odds most of the time. And again, Coleman just put it in a spot where I can go up and get it. I ended up making a play, and thankfully that was the spark that we needed to keep it rolling. Okay, now Colby wants to be a broadcaster, and I think, I know you did a little deal in the post-game show with Ben Reichley, talking to Coleman. Good. Okay, give me a quick interview about the Canton game. Let's talk to Dylan Wilt right now. Go ahead. All right, Dylan. Obviously, great season so far. A lot of touchdowns, a lot of big plays. Muncy's 5-0, headed into Canton. They're 5-0 as well. What's going to be the key? What's going to be the key for you guys going in this week?
Focus. We just preach it all the time. Focus, focus, focus. And if we're not focused, they're going to put it right to us. But if we stay focused, we're going to give them the show of our lives.
Obviously, this is a big game for playoff seeding. What would it mean to get a win? That would give us #1 seed with Montgomery. That's always a tough game. A few tough ones left. Majority of them on the road.
Oh, that'd be a big win because Montgomery always plays tough against us. Last year, I think we beat them by like 2 touchdowns. They always play tough, no matter their record. They come in that game showing a lot of heart, so we need this win.
All right, thanks a lot, Dylan. Back to you, Gary.
Solid. We may be using, I'm telling you, we may come to you later in the season or in basketball. We may have to go to this guy as a sideline guy. We'll stay in touch with you. Good job. Where are you going to college next year?
I just got accepted to Lock Haven. Not sure what I'm doing yet. Still waiting on a few offers.
Yeah, well, make sure you get in the broadcast booth. That's how I got started too. Guys, congratulations. Great start. Keep it going. And what goes through your mind when people say you guys could run the table? What do you say when you hear that?
We know that ourselves. We've just put in a lot of work over the summer, and we believe in one another. That's the main importance of our team. We just have a lot of faith in one another. If one guy's not making plays, another guy's going to step up and make even bigger plays.
I was impressed with Custon Botter in the game the second half when that changed the complexion of the game against Southside. Move him to tailback, he starts running the ball, and then the run started to set up the pass.
Yes, it did. Michael's always a tough runner. I think the second half we started utilizing him more as a running back. He can do it both as a fullback and running back, and I think what gets him going on offense is what he does on defense. He's a very tough kid. He just knows he's a nose for the ball. He can make plays anywhere. And piggyback off what Dylan said about running the table, I think that's our goal now. Once we got done with South, we knew that we have a few tough games. This one's going to be a tough one. I think if we can get over the edge on this one, I think we have a real chance.
Okay, one at a time, right? One at a time.
Absolutely,
guys, good job, guys. Good luck this week. That is the story. Touchdowns and tailgates. Colby Moyer, Dylan Wilt, Muncy Indians. We'll see you next week. And by the way, our games, and of course I wish we were going to Canton with you guys. It is Loyal Sock and Selinsgrove, Cable Sports, the Rennie Road Armel All-State game. PA Sports Live will be at STA Stadium, Millionaires in Scranton. We'll see you next week. Touchdowns and tailgates. At the 41, Potts. Cut to the outside. Grayson Potts bounces out 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. Potts, end zone, touchdown. Back to pass. Magnano steps up again to the outside. Simmons. Look what he does after the catch. Down that sideline, dances. He's gone. Marcus Simmons, touchdown, Millionaires.
Play action by Watkins, rolling to his right, throws wide open, touchdown! From the gun, drops back to pass, looks, throws over the middle in the end zone, circus catch in the end zone for a touchdown!
First quarter. On their third play from scrimmage, quarterback Brent Burley's pass gets picked off by Logan Ott and returned for a touchdown to put the Warriors up 7-0. Dylan Mall goes off left tackle, finds a seam and takes it to the house, putting the Warriors up 14-0.
Indians going on 4th and 5 at the 10. Throw into the end zone. Wilt. Touchdown Muncy. The Indians drive 62 yards. Action. Golden good. Back to pass. Got a man there going up. What a catch. 25, 20, 15, 10. Touchdown. 67 yards.
Throw and possibly a completion.
Here comes South on 4th down. Flip. Throw to the end zone. That ball is caught. Full Lynch, touchdown. It's down here to the right. They come Altner, Winner. Big hole in the middle. The fullback running inside the 5. Touchdown. Brownies.